Hey, ALLI students and leaders and those who are mentors. We mentioned last time that we were going to really have an emotional intelligence emphasis. So Crystal and I thought we'd just send out a video to kind of let you know what to expect the next two allies, and just kind of give you a taste for, what you're going to experience when you show up here. So Crystal, go ahead.
Alrighty, so for the next two Friday evenings, so this is for the month of March and April, when you come, we'll have about 15 minutes for dinner, and we'll do a brief introduction there. With that introduction, we're going to be going over this book, Inside Out by Crabb. And so just note that on your syllabus, this was for the following month. We're shifting forward 1 month. So if you haven't gotten started with reading it, get it ordered and start cracking open your book here, because you're going to want to have that read by this upcoming Friday for ALLI. From there, we're going to break out into some process groups. And so the goal with these is we'll have 6 breakouts to discuss emotional intelligence. And you will be broken out by your process groups. So you remember those groups, the red, blue, green, broken out by first year, second year students. Those are the groups you're going to be in for the next couple of Fridays to discuss emotional intelligence. And so Jeff, you want to share a little bit more about what those discussions will be?
And it won't just be for the students, for the leaders of the groups, the mentors. We're inviting you to come on those 2 Friday nights and actually walk through all of the groups with the students. So before I give that real quick, with this, what are you really looking for? It's kind of a big book, but I think it's invaluable. What Crabb really did when he wrote this book is we say a lot of cliche things at church. I don't think they're bad things. I don't. But we'll say things like, Jesus is the answer. You need to trust in Jesus. And, like I'm with Miles, I've talked about starting this regeneration ministry. And so people come and think, well, Jesus is the answer and you need to trust Jesus, you need Jesus and things like that. What Crabb does is he really pushes you to answer that question, meaning this, rather than just coping with life, how is Jesus changing your life? And he tells us one story. I think it's funny because I remember hearing this growing up, where your flesh and your spirit are like 2 dogs inside of you, and that whichever dog you feed the most is going to be the one that's going to win. And, it's a great analogy and I can envision that, but Crabb makes this point in the book and you'll read it. It's like, I never knew what that really meant. Does that mean like if I'm reading my Bible and going to church, that's feeding my spirit? So I'm not going to lust as much and I'm not going to lie as much. And so what he really drills down into is that there's things that need to change on the inside. And that change that needs to take place, you need to be able to really define what that is. And so I mentioned this at the last ALLI. We talk about sins of self-protection, things we do to not move forward. So Crabb's going to get into that in the book. He's going to kind of deconstruct certain church things we say that really don't make a difference. So I really ask you to read that with an open mind and to really be introspective. And then as we go through these different process groups that Crystal mentioned, you're hopefully going to be able to apply some of that. So what are they? So here's what's going to happen. You'll go through 3 in one Friday night and 3 the next Friday night, because there's no way to do all 6. You'll be with your group like Crystal mentioned. So one is just going to be kind of an assessment on your emotional intelligence, and you'll do that with each other and discuss that. I'm going to have someone lead you through that. And then there's a self-awareness one, and that one will be dedicated to take a deeper dive into your Berkman, and we'll have that printed out for you. And another report I mentioned at last ALLI that really digs even deeper and shows some things about yourself. I'm going to get into something on that one personally, where it's called your core beliefs and how they can really target what you're going to do. Then we're going to have one that's going to be on self-management, and I'm looking to have one of our counselors that I really respect come alongside and lead through that. So all of a sudden, these are the emotions I feel. This is why I do what I do. How do I manage that? Who do I regulate that? And then we're going to get into one on social awareness. And I'm going to have another one of our counselors talk about that. How in tune are you with other people's feelings, emotions? How do you connect with people through those? Do you have a social awareness when you're working through things? You'll do that with your group. And then we're going to have one that's going to be called relationship management. So you're aware of those things. How do you manage those relationships? How do you connect with people through the emotions? And we'll have someone work through that with you. And then we're also going to have a final one on empathy. Hope to have a counselor come through, which is one of the components of emotional intelligence, where you really feel with people. And based on your Berkman, some of you, that'll be easier than for others, but we'll talk through those. So anyway, I think it'll be I think it'll be very valuable. I'm trying to have some quality people come alongside that I've worked with in the past, and you will show up. We'll be down there in the counseling center. You'll be with your group, and you'll go through all 6 of these with them. So anyway, just be prepared for that. That'll be the next 2 allies. And then be sure to read the book before you come next week, which is different than the syllabus. But anyway, Crystal and I look forward to seeing you in March. Thanks.
All right, see ya.